Hey guys, I'm Alan and this is Revival Cycles, and today we're going to talk about BSAs. So, for the uninitiated, BSA stands for Birmingham Small Arms, which means guns. If you look at a lot of the BSA logos, especially the pre-war stuff, you'll see that it's stacked rifles against one another. If you're from the States, you say Birmingham Small Arms. If you're from England, you say Birmingham Small Arms. So BSA sits in the mix between a lot of the British motorcycle manufacturers. We forget that it's not common knowledge, but to us it's somewhat normal that BSAs, Triumphs, Nortons, Matchless, all those bikes are somewhat interchangeable as they roll off the tongue, but they're all very different motorcycles that took a completely different approach to design. But they're not super common in the States. They're common enough that they're not expensive, but they're a great pre-war bike. If anybody here really wants to delve into history and really start to feel where motorcycling, how far it's come, I highly recommend looking for a BSA M20 or M21 because they're not that difficult to find. They're super inexpensive and they're still really lovely motorcycles. They tick over and run really well. They're not fast, but they're super well designed and definitely well engineered. The reason we're talking about BSAs today is because we have 6 in the shop right now currently, probably 7 or 8 in parts that are here as well. But complete motorcycles right now, we currently have a Golden Flash. We have a ZB34A in the shop. We have this Spitfire Mark IV 650, which is a hot rod. We have a B44 Victor Special, a B40 Enduro Star, and a BSA Lightning. I saw one pop up on Craigslist one morning, M20 in pieces, for $1,000, I believe. I got in the car swiftly and drove at well over 100 miles an hour to this guy's workshop. Pulled up, looked at it, it was all in pieces, and I came back later with the pickup to pick all the parts and pieces up. I took those pieces home, put them all together with fasteners to just kind of get a sense of what it was going to become. As I started to develop and sign the lease on this building, which was to move into a real workshop, I traded it and I think one other motorcycle to this kind of eccentric dude who had $15,000 worth of Canon camera gear that was all within a year old. I took that camera gear and immediately sold it and used that money to build this building. So I really consider the BSA M20 to be the seed money that was necessary to build Revival. And had I not bought that BSA, I don't know, maybe I wouldn't have gotten as far as I did. That's the long version from the talking head that is me. I'll leave you guys to Chris and Alec, who are going to talk more in depth about the BSAs that we have in the workshop. Enjoy the talk.
This motorcycle here is a 1969 BSA Lightning, the A10 model. This one's special to me because it's actually my motorcycle. One of these days when I have some free time, I'll get a chance to work on it and get it running again. What's special about the Lightning? It's a 650cc displacement bike, overhead valve. It's a unit construction engine. This was towards the end of drum brakes. It does have telescopic forks. And this motorcycle was able to go 110 miles per hour. And the BSA Lightning was a very sporty and competitive motorcycle. And this BSA is a Golden Flash. This particular model is a 1954. The 1954 Golden Flash was the first year of the swing arm rear suspension, which is a departure from the plunger style rear suspension on the ZB34. And the BSA Golden Flash had 35 horsepower and was able to go 100 miles per hour. Other cool features of the Golden Flash, it was mostly known for its gold and chrome paint job. It was also available in black and chrome. It had a very nice headlight nacelle with the gauges integrated into it. Very clean and Art Deco front end.
When it came in, it was real nasty. As you can tell by all the corrosion on the cases. The car was completely filthy, so a carb rebuild, checked all the valves, valve clearances, checked the compression, oil changes. This one, the mag cap was broken, so I got a new magneto cap for it. Now the kill switch works. New tires, tubes, chain adjustment, things of that nature, and a really good cleaning. The only thing I'm waiting for really now is a battery. Just like the other BSA, this one doesn't need a battery to run because it runs off a mag, but as far as like the lights and all the electrical system and stuff like that, it needs a battery to run all the things. yep, got this one running great. It's fun to ride, it's real smooth.
And this BSA is a 1968 BSA Spitfire. This was the top of the line, most high performance BSA of the model line. This is the A65 model motorcycle, but it has higher compression pistons. Originally it was fitted with AML GP carbs. This bike in particular has been fitted with concentric carburetors, which are a little bit easier to tune since this bike does get ridden daily. This Spitfire was fitted with telescopic forks. It had 53 horsepower when it was new. It would go 112 miles per hour, so this was a very competitive, very fast motorcycle in the 60s.
So when I got it, like I said, it hadn't run yet. Fortunately, Chris Davis had some history on it. Turns out that hole blew through the piston because it was running too lean. Top end went to shit. So it had some top end work, and it actually got a new cam. The head got decked. So it's basically a higher compression version of what it used to be. So got it running. It appeared that somebody had put fuel in the carburetor and then it sat for a long time. So carb rebuild, new gaskets, checked all the valve clearances, added all the fluids. This tank didn't actually have a front mount on it, and it was really hard to find this specific front mount for the specific tank, so we just made one. Got that on, and the gas cap was broken on this thing too, actually on the aluminum where the lip is that holds the gas cap in. That was broken, so we fixed that. New rear brakes, just go through the whole thing, all the electrical system, make sure everything's working properly, tighten everything. Also, there was I guess where the breather is on the case, there was it was just left open, and I think somebody either washed it or it got left in the rain once, and the crankcase was actually not full of water, but it had water in it. Fortunately, it had apparently happened the day before they brought it in, so it wasn't sitting with water in there, so I'm pretty sure that the bearings are okay on the lower end.
And this BSA is a 1951 ZB34, also known as the Gold Star model. The Gold Star was produced from 1938 to 1963, and it was known as one of the fastest production motorcycles of the 50s. They were available in 350cc and 500cc displacement. This is the larger 500cc displacement. And what made it unique was the alloy cylinder as compared to a cast iron cylinder, which shed about 20 pounds over a standard model. This motorcycle is fitted with telescopic forks and unit construction, which means the engine and transmission are separate. And this was a competition bike. That means it was a road race bike. It was an off-road bike, our modern motocross bike. It was just your all-around lightweight, powerful motorcycle that could do anything.
It's been sitting for a very, very long time, and the client just wants us to get it running again and get it riding and get it up to snuff so he can ride it. I took the carburetor apart, cleaned it, made sure everything worked right, new fuel lines, drained the sump, drained the gearbox and the primary, cleaned everything, and added oil and fluids to everything, and basically it started right up. This bike has a magneto, so it doesn't have to have a battery to run. Now, of course, this bike does have a battery for all the lights and the electrical stuff, but you don't necessarily have to have a battery to run it. So I ran it, made sure everything was cool. It runs really well, and it rides really nice too. The only thing left that I'm really going to do is I'm going to put new tires on it, put a battery in it, and then just give it some more shakedown miles and see what comes loose, and just tighten and fix things as I find them. Go over all the bulbs and the electrical work and stuff just to make sure everything's cool and it won't cause any fires. But so far so good. This bike's awesome.
Now's the time of video where most people ask for money or donations or whatever. I'm not gonna ask you for that. What I'm gonna say to you is, if you wanna see more videos and you wanna learn more of what we've learned, and you wanna see a deep dive into a lot of these topics, go to our website and buy something. We sell everything from motorcycle gear, helmets, motorcycle parts, specialized tools. We sell lots of things, and they've all taken us years to figure out what the best stuff is, and we figured it out. So go to revivalcycles.com. There's some really good stuff there. Everything from like kick-ass hand grips from Posh to Radiance LED lighting and everything in between. We want to teach you what we know, but this stuff takes time and it takes real effort to make these videos and make them good for you guys. So go support us by helping yourself to the cool stuff you already need. And it helps us because we make a little bit of profit and then we can justify doing more videos. Thanks for your support.